Walt Whitman, Song of Myself. Song of Myself is Whitman's most famous poem. It's a long poem of about 1,300 lines. As its title indicates, it tells you about Walt himself. It also looks at 19th century American society in a great variety of aspects, and it looks at its subjects in the largest contexts of history and ideas. It claims that America is a new start, fundamentally different from Europe, and this requires a new form of poetry. So Whitman does away with the rhythms of European poetry that go back to Homer. He invents a new and highly variable poetic line, which, insofar as it resembles anything at all outside itself, resembles the rhythms of English translations of biblical poetry and prose. Another novelty of Whitman's style is that he doesn't always adhere to the accepted forms of written syntax. That is, he doesn't always bring a sentence to an expected grammatical conclusion. That too is old world language. He just piles up lists of things and presents them as if to say, here they are, just look at them. You'll hear an example of this in the second section of what I'm about to read. In these opening sections, Whitman presents himself and connects his breath, his respiration, his breathing fresh air in the outside world with his poetry, inspiration. He uses the common element of the two words to connect physical and mental experience, what you take in through the lungs and what you give out through the brain. One other main theme of the poem is the idea that each person is an absolutely different individual. Everybody is different. Whitman tells you about himself, not as a model for other selves, but as a model for becoming the unique self that is each person's potential being. Walt Whitman, Song of Myself, first two sections. I celebrate myself and sing myself. And what I assume, you shall assume. For every atom belonging to me, as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. My tongue, every atom of my blood, formed from this soil, this air, born here of parents, born here from parents the same, and their parents the same. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health, begin, hoping to cease not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while, sufficed at what they are, but never forgotten. I harbour for good or bad, I permit to speak at every hazard, nature, without check, with original energy. Houses and rooms are full of perfumes. The shelves are crowded with perfumes. I breathe the fragrance myself and know it and like it. The distillation would intoxicate me also, but I shall not let it. The atmosphere is not a perfume. It has no taste of the distillation. It is odorless. It is for my mouth forever. I am in love with it. I will go to the bank by the wood and become undisguised and naked. I am mad for it to be in contact with me. The smoke of my own breath, echoes, ripples, buzzed whispers, love root, silk thread, crotch and vine, my respiration and inspiration, the beating of my heart, the passing of blood and air through my lungs, the sniff of green leaves and dry leaves, and of the shore and dark-coloured sea rocks, and of hay in the barn. The sound of the belched words of my voice loosed to the eddies of the wind. A few light kisses, a few embraces, a reaching around of arms. The play of shine and shade on the trees as the supple boughs wag. The delight alone, or in the rush of the streets, or along the fields and hillsides. The feeling of health, the full noon trill, the song of me rising from bed and meeting the sun. Have you reckoned 1,000 acres much? Have you reckoned the earth much? Have you practiced so long to learn to read? Have you felt so proud to get the meaning of poems? Stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of the earth and sun. There are millions of suns left. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the spectres in books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself.